Hello. I'm pretty sure you were expecting me to pop out of this box. Well, I'm not that childish most of the time. So, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Alright, what is up, dudes, my peeps? So today I'm going to do something a little different. I had an interest, or I guess I've had an interest. It's interesting to have an interest.
Hey champ, that's really interesting.
Did a how-to on tube bending, or just showing people how to bend tube, and I can go over and talk about basically what machine I have, how I go about the process of it, and then basically just doing it, and just kind of there's a bunch of measurement that goes into it, so I can kind of talk about that once I'm actually doing the tube bending. So yeah, I just figured I would take a day from the 27, actually working on the 27, because I'm waiting on parts anyways, waiting on some brake lines. So I figured, well, better do it now before I actually have parts to work on it. And yeah, so let's do that. I'll go ahead and walk you through my machine and what I got going on here. So let's go. Lego. Alright, so we're coming around. If you don't have a sack of canes in your garage, you ain't doing it right. So, anyways, let's go over what I have here. So this here is a Fortress compressor tank combo, 26 gallon, all the gallon you'll need, 175 psi all the time. Oh, I had to burp. Excuse me. So anyways, got two ports here. Obviously you can see there's more of the info there. So this is what I'm using to operate my bender. So the bender's back here itself. Let's go ahead and pull this dilly dally out of the way. Yeah, not too heavy. Oh yeah, so Trick Tools makes this stand for benders. And then you can like hang all your dies and everything on the sides, both sides. So I got that from Trick Tools. I figured it's easier just to move it around. It's not planted to the ground. So this whole unit here is a JD Squared Model 32, which is the step down from, I think they're 40 or 42, something like that, which is the one that comes with a hydraulic cylinder. Well, this one, right when I bought it, I immediately bought the hydraulic conversion kit from Swag Off-Road. It's obviously getting rusty, like I said, from just sitting. But whatever, that's not that big of a deal. It's just surface rust. So Swag Off-Road makes a hydraulic conversion. So this here is just a Harbor Freight jack that you would find on like your typical hoists. So this is the same exact jack that's on a cylinder or whatever, that's on a hoist for an engine hoist. And so they fit right in here. So all you gotta do is buy one from Harbor Freight. You have to take all the lever and everything out that actually pumps the arm. So take all that crap off, and then put this little knob on, because before it's you had to do the handle, like the jack handle or whatever. So this eliminates that, and this is also from Swag Off-Road. So if you guys want, there is just go to their website, or I'll leave a link below, and that's basically what this whole kit is. So this is Swag Off-Road. I think that was it. Oh yeah, the strap is Swag Off-Road. This already comes on the cylinder itself, so you don't need to like screw it in or anything. It comes with it. What else? So yeah, this is my machine. It's converted to hydraulic, pneumatic, whatever the hell you want to call it. So basically, the way this works is this right here is an 1 3/4 die. You can see it there. 1 3/4 die with a 5.5 CLR, which is center line radius. So that determines basically where the center line of your bend is going to be, which is 5.5 inches apart. Well, that's like how your radius is going to be, if that makes sense. So you're going to make a radius, and it's that bend from center of the beginning of the tube, or the bend, to the end of the tube should be 5.5 inches, right? So the smaller the number, the tighter the bend. I think JD Squared offers one that goes up to like maybe 7.5 or something, or maybe bigger. I'm not too sure. So basically, these dies would be a lot bigger. So you see how they have all these holes here? So because I'm using a 1 3/4, which is a big die, it's going to be set in slot number 4. Yeah, slot number 4. And so if it was a smaller die, it would be set over here. So if I was bending like 1-inch tube or whatever, it would be set somewhere in here. So all this would be offset, you know, depending on what size you're bending. So I chose 1 3/4 because it's the most standard thing that you can get. Even Schedule 40, I think, is the same diameter as 1 3/4. Well, scheduled isn't exactly 1 3/4, but it's about almost the same. There's like a little bit of a difference, but schedule's different, obviously, but it's the same. So, anyway, schedule can also fit in here. I think it's like Schedule 40 or something. So, any words? Basic setup. So I already got the air ran. I'm loving it. So what we're gonna do real quick is, you can see it's at 175 psi's, all the pressures. So just crack this bad boy open, and the cylinder, or the pump that pumps the air, or the pressure, the hydraulic fluid or whatever, you don't want to exceed 120 psi. So it says it here somewhere. Let's see if we can see it. Probably not.
I can't see shit.
Gracious, whatever. It's 120 psi in this little pump down here. So basically, what I do is I do it like right about, so crack this open. Crack our little regulator up to about 70. Close it. And then give her a squirt real quick and go check it again. Okay. Sometimes it loses air pressure on the regulator side. Okay, we're good. Sick. Locked out. Locked out. And then, so obviously the lower the pressure you go, the harder it's going to be to bend this thing. So this is 1 3/4 120 wall. So 1 3/4 outside to outside, 1.5 inch inside diameter. So basically to set this up, so these are your positions, like I was saying, depending on what die you have. That's what these big holes are for. What else? This is going to be your lockout. So basically, you see all these notches in this, or these holes cut out with these like ramps. There's ramps right here on each of them. So there's a total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. So this one is set back in this one here, in the back one. So this is going to be about starting position. Actually, let me close it a little bit more. Alright, so this will be your starting position right here. They're going to be pretty much flat and parallel to each other. And your starting position will be here at the beginning of the die. So this is the die, and this is, I forget what they call it. But basically this is what the tube rides against and pushes up against. And both ends are made out of aluminum. And this is, so aluminum is soft, it's billet aluminum. It's soft, so it takes the brush of the impact, you know, and it kind of like flexes while you're bending, so it doesn't kink the bar. Or tube, whatever the hell you want to call it. So that's what that piece is there. It's also, so you can see, 1.75, which is 1 3/4, 5.5 R, which is 5.5 radius, or the, you know, the curve, or how big the bend is going to be. So all you do is get your tubing. This is just a test piece, just to show you guys. So get it in. You can load it from either direction. So slide it in like that. So the idea here, or at least the problem, from what I've been learning with this machine, so this is your little lockout here, so that this will save your life, right? So you need that. So basically, you see how this does this? Well, you don't want that, because then it's not going to work properly. It could potentially try and bend it, it'll shoot a tube out. I don't know what the, you know, results of doing that is. I know it's not good. So basically you take this little collar, slide it here, there's a hole right there. You take your pin, drop your pin in, make sure it's all the way through. So drop your pin in, bam. And then, so when you're doing tube bending, at least from what I've gathered, so you need at least a bit of overhang, like right there. So you see this bolt here. So this bolt is what tightens, and just, it'll get closer and closer to that clamp there, and it'll keep it from wobbling, right? But once there's tension on this, there will be no movement whatsoever. You don't want any movement. So basically you just tighten this like that, and then it gets rid of all the movement. See? There's no movement anymore. So that's what you want there. And basically, so you need overhang, and you need to compensate for this, for the tube to come out here. So what I do is I always cut a little extra, because a little extra never hurt. It's, you know, I know there's probably some people out there that are going to get all their measurements and everything correct, because there's a lot of math and everything behind it, and just measuring angles and everything. So I don't think there's people that are going to get it super accurate, to be honest with you. Maybe not, I don't know, I'm not one of them. So basically what I'm saying is compensate. So have a little bit of overhang for that lock. What else? And so say you're gonna cut, you have a tube that's gonna be like 26 inches or whatever, whatever you're doing. I would compensate for that and give it an additional like 4 inches just in case, so go to 30. Because worst case scenario is you can always cut off, you can't add back. So, oh crap, well I have an inch longer. Well, just break out, you know, your chop saw or whatever, cut it up, and you're back on the road. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. I don't have 2 cents, but you get the idea.
I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke!
Alright, so what you're gonna do, lock this in here like that. And so this is your stop. This is what I was talking about before with all these little holes. So basically, I think, so it's mirrored on both sides. So this is just gonna be an example. But your first hole to the second hole, damn, check out how long my nails are, frick. Your first hole to your second hole is going to be a 45-degree bend. I figured that out with this machine, is when you start from 0, so here's your degree wheel. She's all dusty like, oh man, I need to take care of my shite. So, degree wheel. You start at 0, here's your little pointer. You can set this anywhere, I just have it set like that, so, whatever. Wherever this thing is pointing to, it's at 0. So, bye-bye. So anyways, I found that it always stops at 45 from hole 1 to hole 2. Hole 2 to hole 3 will be your 90 degree. So that's a complete 90 degree, and it'll stop on the lock. You may have to compensate over depending on your thickness of your tube. So this being a pretty thick tube, so you'd come over here, if you're going to do a 90 degree bend, you would get at 90, and I usually go 3 notches over, so it'd be at about 93, because this goes by single increments here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I usually go about 2 or 3 over, so 92, 93, and then what's going to happen is as soon as you let relieve pressure, it's going to spring back to 90, or just about, you know, in that area. So obviously if you have an angle finder or whatever, you can get that exact measurement by just putting it up against the tube. It'll tell you it's an 89 degree angle, 90 degree angle, blah blah blah, whatever, you get the idea. So back to this bad boy. So 90 degrees in the middle. I forget what this one is. I think it's 120 degrees, something like that. It's no, actually it might be 145. It's something like that. So it's basically like mirrored. And then obviously the last one's going to be 180 degrees. So this thing can, obviously if this tube was long enough, so that's another problem that you got to take into consideration, is you need a really long tube because you're stretching the material, the metal. So this will do 180 degree bend. So that's perfect for like drive shaft hoops or something, if you could get a smaller CLR, or whatever you need to do, strut towers, I don't know, hoops for a seat, something, I don't know, you can do basically anything you want with a 180 degree, which is what I wanted. They sell a 90 degree, which is cheaper, but I wanted the 180 degree just because I was like, well, you never know, I might need to do a 180 degree bend. I might need a 180 degree bend myself. I don't know. I could stick myself in there. Give me $5. Watch. Boy. So basically, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna set this up. So whenever you set it up at 0, which is here, set it up 0, lock this out, make sure this is down, make sure this pin is down, because this pin here is what drives this. So that pin slides in here from the beginning, bam, and this is what actually starts the bend, because if this isn't locked in, you're not going anywhere. It's not even going to move this wheel at all. And this, you always want this down. So, see that little pin? That pin's got to go right in that hole. So that pin's in there, you know, this is already locked down, and this is good. This sits in these holes and it rides it. You can see there's like a trail. So there's a trail where it rides along, and that's fine. But that's what it's supposed to do. So basically, we don't have a lot of tube, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what happens when you have too short of a tube. So basically what happens is when your tube's too short, it's going to eventually like ride off of this block. Now this one here is here to like compensate for that. But I don't trust it. There's so much pressure going on to bend these things that I personally don't trust it going past this block. I'm sure you could, but again, I don't trust it just because there is movement in it. When it loosens up, and obviously that'll kink the tube. It'll freaking shoot it out to the moon. Elon Musk will definitely be proud of this because it'll send it to the moon. Which I'm sure it will. So I don't want to risk it, but I never go past this single block. And I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to. I didn't read the instructions. I didn't read the instructions. I put it together and I'm like, hey, so back to the single at hand. I will show you how far this can get. I don't know how long this is exactly. Maybe like 26 inches or something like that. So now what you want to do you want to apply enough air. Whoa, hey, whoa, easy. You want to apply enough pressure to get this thing seated back the way it's supposed to be. So that's tight there. It's locked on the tube. So get it tight. Keep going. See how it's got play in it? You can hear it. Still got play. Still more. Boom. Okay, so you can hear it. There's a little bit of play. Alright, all the play is gone. So you have to do that every time in order to degree your bend. So we'll just say, in my eyes I can see that that's 0. Camera probably doesn't say that. But anyways, we're set at 0 now. So like I said, I'll go as far as I can with this tube. And this is just showing you guys how the operation works. So here we go. It's a little noisy because the compressor kicked on, so I don't know how the audio is going to sound. But basically, you can see that it's starting to bend, and we're at, boom. So we hit the first hole, which I told you before was a 45-degree bend. It's right on 45. So what we can do now is we can back this off, right? Because look, so you can see how it's been sinking this tube in. Now it's shorter here. It used to be like out here. Now it's short because it's obviously bending it. So what we can do now is loosen it up a little bit. You'll see it. You'll see the pressure come off. So loosen it up a little bit. Take your pin out. Set it aside. You can just let it ride in there. So now what we're gonna do, because it's locked. So this thing is locked. It's not gonna go anywhere. So we'll relieve the pressure, put it back in, so it'll go into this next drive hole. So you want it to be in that drive hole there. And it takes a little bit, this spring works, but not as well as you think. So you have to kind of force it a little bit. Oh, okay. So now, all we gotta do is keep this locked in. It's going to stay locked in. Now our drive pin is going to push this even further now. So now we're going to be able to potentially get to a 90-degree bend with this tube. So let's see. We're at 45. Put this in. Lock this bad boy up. And we'll give her hell. Alright, so remember how I said the second notch over here, well the second drive pin, or the second hole, whatever, is going to take it down to a 90 degree. Always. It always does. It's always at a 90. So like I said, this is thick wall tubing, so I'm going to go a little past that. I'm going to go $92. We'll go to 92. So what you're going to do now is you're going to lift this bad boy up, turn it aside. You don't want it to lock is what's the problem, is you don't want it to lock. But you see, well, how I said it sinks this thing in? It sinks it in and it'll drive right off this right here. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that, but I've never tested it and I don't want to test it. So, lift this bad boy up, relieve your pressure, and it should. Now just give it some, let's lock this thing down. Alright, so bring this thing back You want it to go all the way to 0. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. This is rough, boy. Ah, I can't do it. I got them librarian hands. God damn it. All right, hold up. All right, set this back to 0. Now pull this pin out. Bring this all the way back to 0. Bam. Loosen this up. Pin out. Clamp off. Now these are stuck, so you have to kind of wiggle them out. And bam. You got you a frickin' 90-degree bend, dude. So that's not too bad. Not bad at all. She's dirty, but she's good. Alright, so now what I want to show you. So basically, let's see if I can get this in the light better. You probably cannot tell on camera, but basically there's a divot right here. So it's just straight, and then all of a sudden it drops. You can feel it. So the bend, that's where the bend is starting. So from here, there's going to be another one here. You can't see it on the camera, and it's like, but basically there's like a hump right here of where it was stretching the tube. So basically from that point to that point should be 5.5 CLR. Now, I believe, I haven't done a 180 degree yet, but obviously when you do a 180 degree, this would be back down here. And it should still be a 5.5 radius, no matter what. Just because the die obviously doesn't change or anything. But yeah, so there's a crease here. I wish you could see it on camera. I can't even get it. But yeah, there's a crease there. Now, what I do, so let me see actually. So you can't tell, but from the hump to the hump, it's about 5.5. But anyways, so what I do when I do my tube bending, I'll come over. Let's go to the rat rod, the 27, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So when I do my bending, I basically just do a bunch of math. So whip out the tape measure, and here, let me get this crap out of the way. And you'll see with the bends that I'm doing, I'm using very simple bends. And what I mean by that is I don't do any weird like 60-degree bends or anything, or I want to say like 37-degree bends or something. So let me show you is what I mean. So this here, right? So we're on the back of the car. So this here at one point could have been, I don't remember the measurements exactly, but it could have been, let's just say a 4-foot tube, I want to say. So 4-foot tube, all I did was, so here to here is going to be 5, sorry, I just ate food. I'm a little full at the moment. Oh, I got a burp. So from here to here should be 5.5 CLR, centerline radius. Same thing on this side. So all I did was I measured from the center of that frame rail to the center of that frame rail over there. So basically the way that I start it is, there's 2 ways you can go about it, but the way that I do it is I start from one end, so one long piece of tube that's going to stick out. I'm going to figure out how far out I want this to come out, right? So you can make this any length, and then once you bend, you know, that's obviously when that ends. So I just figured out how long I wanted this, figured out where I was going to bend it, and I just gave it a 90-degree bend. And then, so basically, you come back over to the car. The lighting isn't the best, it looks like on the screen. But you come back over to the car, you put this piece of tube on the rail that's already bent 90 degrees, right? So now you take into consideration of where that tube has to land. So I think that's one of the more critical parts about doing this stuff, is figuring out. The first bends are always easy. The second, third, and fourth bends, if you have to bend that much, are always the ones that are pain, because if you mess up, you gotta start over. There is no fixing this at all. So basically, you need to figure out, so where, the way that I do it is, you know, I was talking about that little hump, that little divot of where the bend starts and the bend ends. So what I do is I go from that exactly dead center at the stop, so which would be like in here somewhere. So I measure that, and I measure out to where I'm gonna think it's gonna be on this end, right? So whatever that to that is. I know this isn't like too helpful, but it's just some information that I've gathered from doing this stuff. So basically what we're gonna do is that's gonna come out, and the bend of this one, obviously it's on the inside here, but the bend, you're gonna want to measure to that base there, and then you have to figure you're gonna go 5.5 this way, right? Because look how tight the bend isn't gonna be. So you still have this smooth curve here, this smooth radius. Now if you had a smaller CLR, it would bend this tighter, if that makes sense. So like this would come out and bend here if it was like a 3.5 CLR or a 2.0 CLR, whatever. So like I said, smaller the number, tighter the radius. Bigger the number, larger the radius. So basically you just need to measure out, okay, so one thing you can do is measure where the hump starts on, for instance, that bend. It's the same thing both sides. They're both 90 degrees. So you can figure out where the hump starts, measure from the hump out to the either the center of the tube, the inside end of the tube, or the outside end of the tube. But the obviously the key that you want to do here is measure to the inside, center line radius. So measure from the hump to in here, and then this is going to give you your measurement here. All right, but like I said, I use very simple bends. So like this tube up here, the down bar, or yeah, I guess you'd call it a down bar. That's just a 45-degree angle. Now, when you bend tube, you can orientate, or something like that. Orientate them in like different directions. So this is just a straight piece of tubing that's bent at a 45 degree at the bend up there. But then you can tilt it back. It's tilted back, so it's, you know, it's on whatever degree it's on. I don't remember. So 45 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. Make your bends very simple. I've learned that if you make too much of a complicated bend and you screw it up, then you're done. Like, you have to get a new piece, you just wasted a stick of material or whatever, you know. If you got a photographic memory, really good memory, whatever you got, yeah, then just do what you can to remember exactly what you bent. Oh, it's dark in here, Jesus Christ. Just do what you can to remember what length you got, where you started the bend, where your CLR was going to end up at. I keep saying CLR, but that means center line radius. Center line radius. And this might seem ridiculous, but really cool to me, just because I love metal. Death metal, black metal, mainly black metal. And I do incorporate music, or at least like the music style, into the things that I build, like with renders and then my real cars. So that's why they look like all evil and sinister, I guess, character. So I think it would be sick to do right here. So like you'd stand dead center of the car, right? You'd stand dead center, and then to do a pentagram out of tubing right here, just for the sake of like, why the hell did you do the tubing all stupid? So like, I'm thinking, have a tube go, well, I'll do the 90, have like a cage back here, you know, like some sort of I don't even know what you would call that. I would just say like basically, I don't know, like the bed of a truck or something, and then just like follow this line, and then have some points or whatever go off there and go off the main deal, and then I can use these 2 points to make like the going across, so that'll be like the base of the pentagram, and then from the center in here somewhere, wherever the hell everything's gonna lie, I could go up that way, and then it'll go that way, and then that way. I don't know, I just thought that would be sick. It's kind of a stupid idea, but I always have stupid ideas, and that's just one of them. Because imagine you pull up and this thing is slammed on its nuts, whatever engine I have in it, you know, the blown small block or whatever, slammed on its nuts this far off the ground, scraping everything from here to Cincinnati, and it's just evil, sinister exhaust coming out from every which way direction, and you see a big old pentagram. You're sitting behind traffic, you're like, I'm just enjoying my day, going about my day. Oh, what's that, what the hell is that thing? And it's just like, oh man, that right there, that's Satan's limousine. So maybe we'll call it that. Maybe we'll call it Satan's limousine, because that'd be sick, honestly. But yeah, that's just another example. I know I'm rambling on or whatever, but I have all these crazy kooky ideas, and that's why I'm an idiot. And it gets dark again, Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's kind of like my thinking for the tube chassis on that, but that's besides the point. Like I said, that's going to be in another video. But yeah, I hope you guys like took something away from this. If there's anything else, I know I can touch on like a bunch of little things in like the future or whatever. If you guys want like another video on this stuff, let me know in the comments below if that's what you really want to see, and I'll do another video, and you know, I can touch on some things. I can touch on how to do different bends. What else? I don't know, tubing sizes or whatever. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to see, you guys let me know. Hopefully this is informational about tube bending. Like I said, I'm not the best at this, but I learned to do it all by myself, and you just learn by making mistakes. That's the way that I learn, and you can't really beat yourself up for it, because the more you fail, like, I mean, you probably hear this all the time, but the more you fail, the stronger you're going to be, because now you know what to do. So like I said, you're going to go through tubing, you're going to go through material like a son of a bitch, so be prepared to spend a lot of money, but in the future you could also make a lot of money from doing this stuff. So just think of it that way, I guess, if you guys want to actually do this stuff. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys want to see, what you think of the video. Comment down below. I'll put some links and everything to the video, or to the bender and everything that I used or have. So I'll do that. And yeah, hopefully you guys dig this video or this type of format where I'm just kind of explaining things, or at least the way that like my mind works on things. I know there's going to be people that are like, oh, that's wrong, this is wrong. But proven fact is I built a car from nothing. And I just learned how to do tube bending. There's a goddamn mosquito. I just learned how to do tube bending in the backyard. So basically, let me know what else you guys want to see. But anyways, thanks dudes, I appreciate it. Comment below whatever you want to see next. please share the video. Like that's all I really ask you guys is like to actually share the content that I'm putting out. Because I actually like making this stuff, and it's like I could take all this information that's in my head and I can give it to somebody else. I know there's a lot of you that don't even know what I'm talking about, and hopefully you can maybe get something out of this. But yeah, just let me know. Love you dudes. Peace, love, and chicken grease, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Little change of scenery, but anyways, so I was doing a giveaway of some super clean products. They asked me, said, hey, we would love for you to do a giveaway on your channel, and this way, you know, you can pick one of your subscribers however you want to pick them, sorry, and then get the address, and then they'll go ahead and drop ship some stuff. So the winner will get some super clean products, and I already went through, I made a list. It's kind of hard to see, maybe. Okay, so there's a list there. I did like a randomizer wheel or whatever, and that is the person who won Scrap to Reality. Cool dude. So I'm gonna go ahead and message this guy and then get everything situated with him, and he's gonna go ahead and get some super clean products. So that's gonna be sweet. Change of scenario. Obviously we're not in the garage or outside or nothing, but. And also thank you to Super Clean. They're the first ones to actually like support the channel, the YouTube channel. So I'm hoping, you know, we can create a good relationship with them. By we, I say me, myself, and I. But I hope that continuing forward, maybe we can do some things together. So thanks, Super Clean. I appreciate it. You know, reaching out to me, wanting to support me, and support my subscribers. So thank you to everybody that's involved, to the fans, everything. Thank you for getting the channel to 1,000 plus so far. So you guys are lovely. You guys are beautiful. I love all of you. I'm gonna clean up now and enjoy the rest of my day. So you guys do the same. Peace, love, and chicken grease.